Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing tonight? My name is Scott Covington. I'm with the Coming Out of the Broken Hearted podcast. I was thinking about a lot of things this week, and I'll start out with a little prayer. It's John 14:27. Peace I leave you, my peace I give you. I do not give it to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Amen. So this morning, I was wondering, where's God going to lead me today? What's He going to talk to me? And, I truly know that I get led by my spirit in this as I went into my devotional, and it started speaking about moving forward. I'll just read from this here. I'll talk later on, but I'm just going to read this to you. It says, "Let us lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus." Hebrews 12:1 and 2. Imagine you're running a race with a heavy backpack slung over your shoulders. Performing well in that race probably would be difficult and painful. Similarly, when you hold on to your heartache for too long, it weighs you down and prevents you from moving forward what God has called you to do. It's not wrong to be heartbroken for a time, but the Bible warns us not to let it overstay its welcome. There is an occasion for everything, and a time for every activity under heaven, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. That's Ecclesiastes 3:1 through 4. There's a time to hurt, but moving on is necessary for well-being. It can be challenging, but God has given us several approaches to move forward. One is focus on what's good. Let's stay in the good things, Fix your thought on what is true, and honorable, and right, and pure, and lovely, and admirable. Think about the things that are excellent and worthy of praise. That's Philippians 4:8. One way to approach moving on is to focus on the good. Challenge yourself to battle negative thoughts or hurtful memories by thanking God for the blessings in your life. 2, let's look forward. Not to tomorrow, but stand today and look forward. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Isaiah 43:18 and 19. Unfortunately, what happened in the past will always be there, and we can't change what happened to us. With God's help, though, we can start to move forward from what we've lost and focus instead on the healing He wants us to bring. If we focus on what He's doing, we have an opportunity to partner with Him and be a part of good things He has planned. 3, rejoice. Rejoice in our suffering, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. Romans 5:3 and 4. Moving on gives us a unique opportunity to rejoice, not because we experience pain, but because we've been given a chance to learn. A heartbreaking situation can be one of the most intimate times with God. And when we spend time with God, we learn from Him. We rejoice because with God, we come out of heartbreak with more wisdom. Healing is a process, but as we move forward from our past hurt, we can count on God being there every step of the way. And the prayer of this is, God, thank you for being near me during my heartbreak and for helping me bind up my wounds. As I move forward, help me to focus on your love for me, your love for others, and goodness of your will. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Let me just say with that, we have to find a place with ourselves, time for forgiveness. We have to find healing. In an addict's mind, we do things in our addictions, but it becomes, again, a habit, we have habits in our addiction. And if we can get out of the habits of addiction, we can replace them with better habits, of righteous things, truth and honor. We can move forward. But it begins, I think, within, for me, it begun in here. It begun in my mind, as far as in my full-blown addiction, the giving up, just not caring, again, standing, looking at my grave, thinking, hey, here I am, 60 years old, I give up. I've never been a guy to give up on things, even when I was in drugs, I'd never give up on that. If I worked as hard, and I am today working that hard, as I was in my addiction to find drugs, get money to get drugs, to keep high, today I focus on things not of Scott Covington. I focus on things that others. I'm here with you today, I beg you to have a conversation with me. I beg you to make a phone call, or if it's not me, pick someone. If you're in a addiction like me, it's hard to pick from them people, because here we are, already ruined our relationships with most people in our lives, anybody that cared anyway, because now they've turned not against us, but we've hurt them so bad, and they've helped so many times, they throw their hands up and say, hey, I've had enough of this, you cried wolf too many times. So find somebody, I'm not going to judge nobody in their past. I'm no better than anybody in full-blown addiction right now today. I'm no better. I'm just thankful in the grace of God that I am today living a full godly life that Jesus wants me to live. He gave me this purpose to be here with you today. He gave me a mindset of keeping out of self. It's not about Scott Covington, Lord forbid that it ain't, because all the whole time in my addiction, it was about me. And I think if you're in addiction, it's about you, and you sort of get upset and at anybody that thinks it's not about you when they start talking to others or try to do something else, and you're, hey, what about me? What about me? Well, they've left us soon behind, because we're the ones who's drugged them down, and they're trying to free themselves so they can grow, because we're the ones dragging them underwater. When you're trying to save somebody drowning, you're grabbing onto them, pull them under. I'm sure that some people, when we're in addiction, just want to reach out and put their foot on your head and push you under the water. But we do that to ourselves when we're in addiction. I can say many times, I know I said it many times in the other podcast, that you have to find a support group. I don't care what you choose, but you have to find a support group. You have to find support. Being in, outpatient, you can go on your own without anybody knowing it. You can go to Rosecrans. You can talk to somebody that you don't know. So it's not, you don't have to feel bad or shameful about what you've done, but you need to move on from that. So you can go to Rosecrans, you can go to an outpatient place. There's rehab that you can go to. You don't have to tell anybody, just go do it, and just walk your walk and get through it. You can come see us here at the Vineyard Church. Good people here. They've still here today. Almost 11 months going on here, sober. Every day, how you doing? They find kindness and kind words, and they try to lift me up. As I'm trying to lift you up out of your addiction, we have service a Saturday night. Starts at 6:30 till 7:30, and then we have a meal afterwards. We have on Sunday morning 9:30 service to 10:30. We have a service from 11 to 12. So it's two services there. And again, we have men's group at 6:30. You can go on Vermilion Valley website, and you can find our activities we have going on here. We do a lot for the community. Again, we don't think of ourselves, we think of others. Hence, I don't think of myself, I think of others. keep out of self. The more we keep out of self, and we do this, I'm telling you, the sky, the dark sky opens up and the light comes out. It's not, your good works ain't gonna get you to heaven, but it's a start. It's a beginning to get out of self. I say that in John 14:27, peace I leave you, peace I give you. I do not give it to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. That's what I said earlier. It's just truth, Don't let your hearts be troubled, and don't be afraid. In addiction, my heart was troubled. I was scared. It might not seem that, but I know that people left me in my life, and I was hurt. So hence alcohol and cocaine and whatever else they could throw my way. You try to cover it up, and the more you cover it up, the more you get wore down, like a backpack wearing in a race. It wears you out. You're not going to win the race. You just go. The bricks will be more in the backpack. You'll get heavier and heavier until you're like me. You're standing looking in your grave. How do I get out of there? Don't know. Well, I'm trying to give you an opportunity to get out. You can call me at 217-499-1908. Have a conversation, confidential conversation. I'm not judging people. I'm just here to talk with you. I'm not here to tell you what to do or touch your head to save you with Jesus. But what I'm going to say is you got to give yourself a chance. Every day you wake up, what's the world look like to you that day? Are you still not forgiving yourself? You have to move forward. Wendy Lambert, Step Recovery Center on Woodbury Street, wonderful program. They have NA and AA 7 days a week there. They have a recovery house that you can start in Rosecrans IOP, and if you don't have no place to stay, you can stay there. You can go to the Mission if you don't have no place to stay. You can get started there. They have drug tests there. They have a discipleship program there. They have Second Church on Tuesday nights. They have a recovery program, good God-based recovery program. Grace Church Friday night, great recovery program. It's a Christian-based program. Felix, he runs this down there. Good people. They care. And guess what? They're all addicts. You're not walking into people who sitting and you think they're above you. They're not. They're good men and women that are just trying to recover from this. We have the Go Church in Alvin. They're good people. There's a lot of people there that's recovering addicts. Phil Hunt, he's on Monday nights. Just listen. If you don't want to talk, how about listening? Just listen to him. He's been in recovery for quite some time now, and it's a thing that we need to move toward. You have to find yourself in a place of want. You have to want this. You have to want to begin. Just begin that morning. Begin, and you have a new start every day. If you slip up, and if you're 5 days sober or 3 days sober and you slip up, then don't worry. To put that behind you the next day and start new again. We don't stay in your recovery. Stay in your recovery. Don't stay in your addiction. This is what we have to work on today. We have to. I cannot say it enough. You're not going to do it yourself. You're just not going to do it. You have to find a support group. I know that every day we're tempted. 1 Corinthians 10:13. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out, so that you can endure it. This tells addicts there is always a way back to sobriety, even when it seems hopeless. Never give up. Addicts can overcome the temptation of drugs. That's 1 Corinthians 10:13, so it's been around a while. I mean, this ain't new. This ain't something that just come about. It's been a way of life for a lot of people for a long time. It's a choice that when we get broken, we get hurt, I turn to cover up the hurt and the pain. But the more I turn to that and ingest that and pour it down my throat or up my nose or however you do it in your arm, I have to say it's like wearing that backpack. You can put it on when it's new and it's empty. You're going through life and something bad happens. Out of brick. You go through the next day, somebody dies. Out of brick. You get fired from your job. Out of brick. Before long, it's overwhelming to carry that backpack, and that's what we do. Not actually a backpack on us, but we just keep putting bricks on our shoulders, and we have a chip on our shoulder. But that chip soon grows heavy, and it weighs us down, and we just continue with our addiction. I believe that the only way around that is forgiveness. You forgive yourself. You have to start in forgiveness of yourself, and then you have to forgive others. You can always find an excuse, and you will. You'll find an excuse. Well, he didn't do what I wanted to do, or they pointed a finger at me and they said that I'll show them, and that's what I did. I showed them. But this is, how's that working out for you? If you're sitting there right now, and you're waiting for your next high, you're waiting for to get some money. It's the first of the month, so hopefully you can save some money this month and don't go put it in a pipe, don't go put it in your arm or swallow it. Whatever you do, there's a better life. I promise you, there's a better life out there. I've been in, had an opportunity to grow in these last 10 months, and what's growth look like? Well, I'm going to tell you where I got planted, and it didn't much seem like recovery. But where I got planted was in jail. I had 35 days in jail. So there was 35 days of sobriety. I could have got out of there and had a chip on my shoulder, but I didn't. I had a chance, because before I went in there, man, I was definitely looking at my grave. I wanted it to be over with. And today, I'm so far away from that. I got watered while I was there. My little mustard seed got watered in jail. I had a guy in the medical ward that I was in let me read his little Bible during the day, and a daily read devotional, and I think that led me to the day I got out. Instead of having that $700 some on the link card, buying crack cocaine with it, but I chose to reach out to Pastor Jay Sorrell. He's a great man, I was speaking to another guy here at church this morning, and he did the same thing for him 5 years ago. It's an opportunity. I don't know if you don't know what that looks like, but today you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to grow, to start new. Even though I'm 60 years old, I have a chance at life. I'm making good friends. This community, to believe, belong, and begin in the Vineyard Church here where I go to. There's a lot of different kinds of people here. And they're loving people. They're caring people. We'll help you. We'll reach out to you. We'll get you where you need to be when you sit and have a conversation and share a meal with us, and you just need to be close, and you need to surround yourself with different people.
If you are looking for strength and support on your way to a life worth living, we've got your week covered. Check out all of these opportunities that are available here in Vermilion County. On Monday, at the Go Church, led by Phil Hunt, it will be on Facebook Live. It starts at 6 p.m. goes till 7 p.m. On Tuesday at Second Church, the Celebrate Recovery program starts at 6 p.m. and goes to 7:45. Dinner is offered also. On Thursday the podcast, Come Now the Brokenhearted will be live, led by Scott Covington. The offer is extended to everyone. Let's talk. To set up an appointment simply call 217-499-1908. On Friday at Grace Church, the recovery program, Rescue Us starts at 6 p.m. Dinner is included. And all throughout the week the Step Recovery Center at 110.5 Woodbury Street is hosting a 12-step recovery program for NA and AA. Call for more information 217-597-9653 and ask for Wendy.
Speaking to somebody in the family the other day, talking about, what if you want to be a captain of a ship? You just don't, boom, become the captain. You got a big ship, you got a lot of crew members, you got some man of the lifeboats are out there on the edges, sort of like me starting there, you have levels you have to go through to get to be the captain. But you have to be on the ship. You have to get on the ship. If you're out there in the water, treading water, and your addiction, the guys from the ship said, hey, come on, and you're staying away from that. At least get in the ship, get on the lifeboat, start there, start somewhere. When you get off the lifeboat, you come into the ship and you start, you grow, you get watered, you get fed, grow fruit. You can be a vine and you can start growing, and maybe you might not grow fruit the first year, but you'll be sober and you'll learn the way to stay sober, to get out of your addiction and learn how to forgive yourself. I just know that it's got to start somewhere. I had a gentleman call me. I spoke with him 6 months ago, wanted to work with me, and he was on heroin. And he said that he was going to go and get on methadone, and I told him he had to do that if he wanted to work for me, and he had to take a drug test if you want to work for me. It's not because I judge somebody like that, but I have to respect my homeowners. I cannot bring somebody like Scott Covington on the job who would take something from a homeowner, and then the guy I work for, how would that look for him? He'd have to fire me and explain to the homeowner, and it would be bad. So this gentleman told me he was going to go. It was on Monday, and he was going to go on a Tuesday. I said, when are you going to call me back? He said, I'll call you Thursday. He didn't call me back. I called him and didn't get a hold of him, and finally, a while later, I seen him at a funeral. And I asked him, how's that working out? And he didn't want to hear it. I asked him when I was going to go to his funeral, because that was soon to be happening, The other day I got another phone call from him, just a week ago. I asked him, he said he just needs to fix. It was things was terrible, he wanted to die. And I was like, we spoke 5 months ago, we spoke. You was going to get a methadone. I said, can you do it? It just takes too long. But if he would have just started that day and went to Champaign, I'll give you a ride to get a hold of me if you're there. Get a hold of me, I will get you where you need to go to begin. You have to begin. And then so you can belong and to believe. You have to begin somewhere, I don't know what that looks like to you, I don't know where you're at in your addiction. I just know that today, I give you an opportunity to get a hold of me, to speak with me, to have a conversation. What's wrong with having a conversation? What's wrong with having a private conversation with me? Just to speak the truth. Tell me how you feel, because I promise you, I felt that way. I've had people die in my life, friends, family. I've had people, this friends talk behind my back and say they're my friends. I've had great friends tell me to stop doing what I'm doing, and I didn't want to be around them, so I put them out of my life. My other friends that stayed in there, I figured I could use them. So, in our addiction, we don't only hurt ourselves, we hurt others. So, and then, just throwing more dirt on top of us, almost covering you up. And then how do you get out of that? Well, I was there, so I can tell you that there's only one way. Stop what you're doing. Begin a conversation with somebody. And man, I've been there. And you can have a conversation with me, and let's just talk. I give you opportunity to for a new chance, a new beginning. Your life's far from over. The only one keeping you from a new life, it may not be you, but it's your addiction. It's not us. It's bad people. We give up on ourselves, and then we start self-medicating with a pill or a drink or a line of cocaine and crack cocaine, or they start with snorting heroin, then it's heroin, and it just snowballs. Once you invite the evil and wickedness in your life, and you give them a foothold, I promise you, it's going to crawl up from your foot. It'll be all over your back. It'll cover you up. It'll put you in darkness, and it'll give you ways you can't see through it. That you don't know how to even, if you're in a room with 10 doors, you don't even see 9 of the doors. You can't even get to the one you can see because you live in the darkness. So you have to give yourself a chance. You have to. I said this last week. Don't bring tomorrow into today. Forget tomorrow. There'll be enough. You have today to begin new, and don't bring tomorrow into today. You can't. There'll be enough tomorrow's troubles for then. Yesterday, forget that. Just live in today. Wake up for new beginning just today. I beg you to have a conversation. Start with a conversation. If you've pushed everybody out of your life, man, I tell you, you start with a conversation. I just want to give you hope and let you know that there is a new start out there for you if you want it. And you do, but you don't know what it looks like. So start with a phone call. Just start with one phone call. And we'll find a place for you somewhere. We get you the help you need. There's a life. There's a happy life out there. All the struggles and all the troubles I've been through in my life, there's happiness, there's joy, there's peace, there's comfort. Even in the world we live in today, you can have a good life. You can have friends again. You can belong someplace. Start with me. Give me a call. So God bless each and every one of you. And don't forget, you're loved, you're needed, and you matter. God bless you all, and have a great week. Thank you very much.